Hello world, welcome back to Razor RC. I just want to cover an important topic and something you should do before you ever drive your RC crawler. Whether this is an RTR kit like we have in front of us, this is an Axial SCX-10.3 RTR, or whether you build your own crawler, this is really important to do, and that is to set your endpoints on your steering. Now, pretty much nobody ever sets this, and unfortunately that's the case. And on most RC cars you'll have a servo saver, so it's not as big of a deal, but on an RC crawler you never really run into a servo saver, right? You want maximum application of power from your servo going directly to wheels, and you have nothing in there to protect your servo. So what a servo saver does is actually a little spring-loaded device that saves the servo, as the name implies, when you're trying to basically turn the wheel with your radio, but the tires are not actually able to turn. So the other reason this is important for your RC crawler is that you usually run a super high torque servo, something like the 350, 400 ounce inch range. So super high torque servo that's just going to try to pound your servo, turn the wheels as no matter what's pushing against them. And then no servo saver is kind of a recipe for disaster if you do not set the endpoints correctly. So we're going to get into it here. I've got an SCX-10.3 and a Spektrum DX3 radio. This will apply to pretty much any RC crawler. I'm just using this as an example. And what we need to do is calibrate our radio. So first off, we'll turn on the radio, turn on the actual car, make sure everything is bound and linked correctly. And we'll go ahead and flip this over. You don't want to do it with the wheels loaded because that's just extra strain on the servo that will make it a little bit more difficult to see. So now we turn off the radio and we're going to go into bind mode. So the way you do it here is full right, full brake, hold those down and turn on the radio, and you'll see the flashing blue LED, and that means we're all set. Now the way you do it on the Spektrum is to turn your dual rate up all the way, and then you turn full right, hold full right, and now what you want to do is adjust that dual rate down to where it just barely moves. So what you want the dual rate set to is as high as possible without overextending the wheel. So right when it stops moving, you're pretty much set there, and that's good for the right side. Now for left side, go ahead, go back to max dual rate and turn left. And again, we're going to back off the dual rate all the way down until the wheels just barely start turning. Any higher and it won't turn. So that's pretty much that little point at which you want your dual rate set. And that's just kind of telling the radio where you want those endpoints to be. Now that we're done, we'll turn off the radio. And then now to test it, we're just going to turn on the radio in normal mode. We're not calibrating or anything. And make sure your dual rate goes all the way back up to max. So we were turning down the dual rate while we were calibrating, but when you're normally running, you just set dual rate to max. You can test full right, full left. You'll see the wheels turn all the way to their maximum without trying to overextend the servo, without having that servo trying to go past what the wheels are actually able to turn. So that's pretty much what you're trying to do here, is have the radio set that full right, full left, turns the wheels as far as they can go without trying to go past what they're physically able to turn. So that's basically what endpoint adjustment is. Most of the higher end RTRs will have this. So the Spektrum DX3, the DX2E, the Traxxas TQI has it. I don't think the Element RC radio you can do this, but you know, sort of a nice little feature to make sure you're not overextending that radio. And then you can also leave your dual rate at maximum while you're running and still have that full travel. So anyways, I hope that made sense. Throw down a comment below if you have any questions or concerns. I hope you enjoyed it. Like, share, subscribe, hit the notification button. Look for more videos soon, and thanks for watching.